Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm the Tilted Crown Gourmet. I truly hope you have enjoyed my two collections that I've dropped over the summer. My Bella Grace collection as well as my Chef's Tasting Table collection. Please leave a little note down in the comment section and let me know if you like that kind of content. Well, today we're going to be going back to our tried and true, and I'm going to be doing a Filipino dish for you today, and it's called beef Nilaga soup. I spent my teenage years in the Republic of the Philippines, and so therefore the Philippines does have a special place in my heart. Therefore, without further ado, let's roll up those sleeves, let's get some prep done, and let's get cooking. In order to get started with our beef Nilaga, we are going to start with our bones. So we are going to go ahead and generously salt these. And these are, they call them beef knuckle. And we're gonna flip that over, flip these over. And we're gonna put these in a preheated 400-degree oven, which is 205 degrees centigrade. And we're going to put those in for about 40 to 60 minutes or until they're nice and brown. The reason we're doing this is because this adds a richness and a depth of flavor to our soup. Next, we're going to go ahead and put our oil on. This is avocado oil. Any high temperature kind of neutrally oil will work fine. I'm using avocado. That's generally authentic. That's what would have been used in the Republic of the Philippines. So I'm gonna get and rub these all in this oil and get all that residual salt on those. This is gonna help make our soup nice and delicious. And you see, these do have the bone marrow. They do have the bone marrow in. So that also adds to our delicious flavor. Now we're gonna get our bones and right into the oven they go. And I'm gonna set my timer for 60 minutes, but I'm gonna come back and check them in about 40. Okay, as we continue on, we are going to generously salt our beef. Now, when it comes to the beef, this is chuck. However, pick right now, especially with the prices the way they are, honey, pick what's on sale. If it's, whatever's on sale, that's what you get. But this is beef chuck. I want to generously salt it. This is a lot of meat. And then we want to make sure that we get everything and mix it all together, because we want to make sure that the salt is kind of evenly distributed. And if you see that there's maybe some parts that maybe don't have what you consider enough salt, because remember, what I think is enough salt may be different from what you think is enough salt. Therefore, because I think I need a little bit more, with my other hand, a little bit more salt goes in and a little bit more mixing. Next, I will wash my hands and I'll be right back. As we continue, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some avocado oil into our pot. We're gonna turn this on and I'm gonna put it on sear. So this particular one has a sear function. If yours doesn't have a sear function, then put it onto medium high. Make sure when you put your meat into your pot that you do not overcrowd the pot. You want a sear, you do not want steam. You do not want to steam the meat, you want to sear it. Not quite sure what I was thinking I could use a copper pot on an induction cooktop. Well, of course the induction cooktop told me, you know what, you're being a bit of a knucklehead. I'm not going to work for you. So I have changed pots and I have put my avocado oil into this pot and we are going to begin to sear our meat. Remember, do not overcrowd your pan because you want a sear. If you overcrowd your pan, you're gonna get basically steamed meat. And so we don't overcrowd our pan, we're gonna do it in batches. And we have a lot of time. Why? Because we're waiting for about 30 to 40 minutes. I think I said 60 before. That ain't true. It's 30 to 40 minutes for our bones. See, I'm old. I get brain fog and stuff. And then plus I've been trying to reorganize 2 homes across two different time zones. So things can get a little bit confused sometimes. So you have to forgive me. Look at the wonderful color that we're developing. And we're gonna continue doing this until we have seared all of our beef. And then we go in with our next round of meat. And like I said, we're just gonna continue doing this until we have browned all of our meat. While we're waiting for our meat to sear, let's go ahead and start cutting up our ginger. So with our ginger, what we want to do is we want to get it, so I'm going to cut it into a manageable kind of chunk. Then I'm going to get that, cut it in half, because what we want are matchsticks. So I'm going to slice these and turn them into matchsticks. And if you can always make them thinner, if you want them thinner. You have to kind of do it how you believe your guests will want their ginger. But it's going to be cooked, so it's going to mellow the flavor a bit, but it's going to add so much wonderful flavor to our dish. And so while we're going to head and waiting for our finish up our beef, I'm going to go ahead and lower the temperature of our pot. Going to go to medium. And we are going to go ahead and slice our onions. So I have people in my household who are not super fond of onions. So then what I do, I make them so fine that number one, they kind of melt into the background. See that? They'll melt into the background and they just kind of go away. So you get the flavors, but you don't get necessarily the mouthfeel that you're eating a chunk of onion. So I like to cut mine really, really fine. I have this little hand mandolin that I just absolutely love. And you see, that made quick work out of my onions. So now we are going to add in our ginger into our pot, and we are going to cook that for about 2 minutes. Oh my goodness, the smell is actually so wonderful, this ginger. And I know you're maybe a little bit concerned that there's a lot of fawn, but that's okay. It's okay to have fawn because we are going to be getting that out when we add in our onions. The onions are going to release a lot of moisture and it's going to help to deglaze our pan. So next, we are going to add in our onions. And again, we're going to cook this for about 2 minutes. Ooh, something popped in my face. Hopefully it's not show up on the camera. So while our onions are doing their thing, let's go ahead and get our green onions ready. I'm gonna go ahead and just you don't have to cut them small. I like mine kind of a bit chunky, but we're primarily just gonna use the green portion. And we're gonna discard that, and we're gonna go ahead and get our garlic ready as well. With our garlic, I'm just gonna smash it. If you want to chop it, you can. Traditionally, it is smashed. So we're gonna just smash it. I'm just gonna set it off to the side. Once I'm done, I'll probably put it all back in my bowl. In the recipe, I tell you 5 cloves of garlic. This is a head of garlic. Why? As I've told you in my other videos, I really, really like garlic. So I'm using more garlic than what I would recommend for other people, and that's okay. And I'm also going to go ahead and cut I have a Serrano chili. I'm not going to seed it. I'm simply going to cut it in half because I want to add a little bit of a little bit of spice to our soup. Now understand something. People do this soup in different ways. Some people put in potatoes and carrots. I'm going to be putting in baby bok choy. Obviously we have our onions, we have our garlic, we have our meat. We're gonna have our bones and our water and our fish sauce, our garlic, our green onions, our serrano, and I'm gonna also put in some corn. So remember, everyone does this a little bit different. It's kind of like you know, when you have those family recipes, but every member of your family in the family does it a little bit different, that's the same with this soup. So now we're gonna add in our green onions, give them a stir, our garlic, make sure we get all of that lovely deliciousness in there. We wanna make sure we give everything a nice stir. Next, we're gonna be adding in fish sauce. Now, you have to decide how much fish sauce that you wanna put in for your palate. But I'm gonna be giving you, of course, a recommendation in the description below. Oh, it smells so wonderful. Next, we're gonna be adding our beef back in along with all of its juices. And again, we wanna give everything a stir. Doesn't that already look absolutely amazing? It smells wonderful. You should have smell-o-vision. You would be just loving this right now. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get our bones out of the oven. Don't those look fantastic? Look at those. Those are wonderful. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put these into our pot, nestle them in, and you see all this here? Guess what? In it goes. That's flavor. Next, we're gonna be adding in our water. Remember that pepper? Boop, in it goes. And we're just gonna give things a little bit of a stir here. We're gonna bring this up to a boil, and we are gonna be looking for there to be kind of like some scum that may come to the top. If we get any of that scum that comes to the top, we're going to skim that off because we want a nice, clean tasting soup. I'm gonna bring it to high because I wanna bring this to a boil. Remember what I was talking about, that scum that might rise to the top? I kinda knew it would, but this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So what we wanna do is we just want, if you have a scum remover, that's even better, but I don't have one here, but I just want to pull that off. Just take this right off the top because we want to make sure that we have a nice, clean tasting soup. And then, once we do this, we're going to put the lid on, and we're going to cook this for approximately 2 hours, or until your beef is tender. Once your beef is tender, it's done. But you're going to be checking periodically. When your beef is starting to get tender and you think you're about 20 minutes away, you want to add your corn in. And then you're going to add your green beans in, and then you're going to add in your bok choy. So anyway, I'm going to continue skimming, and I will be back and give you a little bit more information, because after I do this, again, I'm going to be adding my lid, and I'm going to be dropping the temperature down a little bit because I want to keep this, I don't want it to boil over. If you choose to make it, there is actually a dipping sauce for this soup that we would use in the Philippines. So to our bowl, we're gonna add in some, you can either use brown sugar or palm sugar, either works. Garlic, peppers, and with those, you have to decide what spice level you want. Do you want them seeded, not seeded? Mine are not seeded, and I also do slice mine really, really thin. We're gonna add in lemon juice. And what do I always say? Freshly squeezed lemon juice. It's so much better than the bottle stuff. And last but not least, we're gonna add in fish sauce. It's important that you allow this to sit for at least 5 minutes before you're ready to eat. because you want the flavors of this sauce to really meld through. You can always balance it. For instance, some people don't use the sugar, some people don't use the garlic. The garlic for me adds an additional bite, and the sugar balances all of our flavors. It's gonna be up to you of how you wanna make this sauce, but this is a traditional sauce to go along with our soup. We're about 20 minutes from showtime. Therefore, we wanna go ahead and add our corn. And then our next addition will be our green beans. And in the meantime, I am going to quarter our bok choy once I put the green beans into our lovely soup. Our corn has been cooking for the last 10 minutes. Now we're adding in our green beans. And remember, people add different things to this soup. Some people add cabbage. Like I said before, potatoes, carrots. It's all up to you and what you want in your soup. Now, we're going to cook this for an addition. We're going to cook our green beans for 5 minutes. But during that time, I'm going to go ahead and quarter our bok choy. While our green beans are doing their thing, you know, they're in the hot tub, we're going to go ahead and quarter our baby bok choy. Again, sometimes people will put cabbage instead. I did wash these. That beeping sound is actually my rice cooker going off because my rice just got finished. Now, after our 5 minutes is up for our green beans, we will add in our bok choy, but we'll turn the heat off of our pot and just let the residual heat cook the bok choy. It is finishing up time. Therefore, we're going to lift our lid and we are going to put in our bok choy. We will cover that up. Make sure all of our leaves are in there. And we are gonna turn the heat off and we're just going to allow that to sit for 5 minutes and allow that residual heat to cook that bok choy. This is how it looks, and let's taste this for balance. That's lovely. So we're gonna dish this up and I'm gonna show you how the whole thing turned out. I hope you've enjoyed this course. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so that you never miss any of my tantalizing content. And as always, bon appetit. Your kitchen is your passport to the world, allowing you to explore diverse cultures and cuisines right from home as you explore new flavors and techniques. And as always, bon appetit.